Hey guys, so we are getting a new banner and CC event. So as usual, I want to do a should you pull this banner sort of video to talk about like, do I recommend pulling this banner? Yeah, if yes, why? If not, why not? But also I want to add in a bit of a little section at the end of the video where I want to talk about the CC and some of the things that's happening surrounding this CC. So I'll put a timestamp down below in the description so that you can skip to the CC part of the video if you don't want to watch the whole like operator discussion part. So as a short answer, should you pull this double 5-star banner? My answer is no, right? Usually I really dislike these double 5-star banners where they introduce like 2 new 5 stars but no new 6 stars, and then like you're having a really hard time trying to pull both of them if you're like a collector or if you want a specific waifu. Let's say this time as Tsukinogi, like you're just gonna have a really hard time to pull maybe the one you want or both of them. And I feel like it's really a ripoff because you're not really getting like benefited from the 6 stars. And this time, both times actually, the 5 stars aren't really worth the money you put in, the pools you put into it. So let's explain why. First character I want to talk about is Asbestos. So she is a anti-art defender. She does spell damage when using her skill, so that's pretty awesome if you want to say so. So she is a defender that can deal like AoE arts damage if that's what you really want. So her talent combined with her stats makes her really good, right? Magic resistance plus 10 when attacked by a magic normal attack, recover SP, so that's nice. Resistance plus 10 plus her own resistance of 15, you will get a 25 arch resistance. Then you combine that with her skill 1, which blocks 1 magic attack, by the way, so that's already fine, I guess. But it reduces magic damage taken within skill duration by 30%. Note that this is not like a 25% plus 35% negation. This is, you take arts damage after the 25% resistance, and then you multiply that by 0.7, so minus another 30%. So even though if you plus the number together, it's like 55%, but realistically, you're looking at more of a 47.5%-ish decrease in arts damage, which is still pretty good, don't get me wrong. Almost 50% arts damage, like ignore 50% of enemies' arts attack. That's fine. Her skill 2 increases her attack interval by 40%, by the way. The original one is 1.6 seconds, so roughly 2 seconds and a little bit more for each attack. Attack plus 90% defense increase. Greatly increased attack range to this size, which is pretty good. And it deals AoE damage. So as I said, if you want like a executor that deals arch damage, but that's a defender that blocks art that can effectively tank against arch damage, sure, Asbestos is your choice, right? But you don't need her. As an experienced CM player, I can assure you, as of right now, up to chapter 8, you do not need to use Asbestos. I'm not sure about CC Season 3 because that hasn't been released yet. If anything happens, I will talk about that. But as of right now, I have never seen a specific situation that requires you to use Asbestos. Not a single one. You can do just fine with your Saria. So, really no point in pulling her. Arts damage is not the biggest problem, and even if you want to deal with arts damage, you always have Nightingale. Nightingale will help you with all your arts like resistance needs. You do not need Asbestos. Second operator, Tsukinogi. Sure, she's a good looking waifu. I will give her that. Supporter, deals spell damage, and then she pretty much helps your units to survive, right? Looking at her talent, you can tell when allies within attack range have less than 40% HP, apply shelter effect, which can reduce up to 20%. That's fine. You can survive better, right? If someone, like, let's say your defender is on low HP, you can help them survive longer and then get that healing back up, so they will die less, perhaps, if you think of it that way. Her skill 1 is that within her allies within her attack range gains physical evasion and magic evasion, which is nice, right? And enemy loses stealth status, so the area is huge. The effect is not bad. 35% evasion is pretty awesome, and you can lose evade. You can ignore enemy stealth status, just like Silver Ash. Like you might be like, oh, that's good if you just experience CC Season 2. You're like, oh, I can ignore all these stealth, like the spider stealth, all that stuff, right? And then skill 2 stops attacking enemies. Talent activation requirements change to 60% HP, so that's even better. And then the shelter effect increased to 2.3 times, which is roughly 46%. So you're ignoring 46% of the damage income, which is very powerful, right? It's good for survival. And all allies within, like, she heals allies at the same time. And still, it's a huge area, right? The attack, the healing is very non-existent pretty much because of her low attack power. The problem with her is that a lot of CN players gave her high praise. Like, we all thought that she's going to be helpful. She's gonna we're gonna have this situation that we're gonna need her ability buffed onto others to help them survive. But the true fact is that scene never happened. That situation never came. There's a bit of a spoilers that I will talk about after this part, but just in general, the problem with both of these 5 stars is they are unique. They are very, very unique, right? They're so unique that we never found a situation that we actually needed them. You can think of it as a praise or as whatever, but the truth is we just don't need them. Also, ignoring how good or bad these operators are, they are 5 stars, and you can get them off banner in the future. So let's think about the future then, right? After this CC, we're going to get Phantom, the new 6-star specialist, which is very, very powerful. I definitely recommend getting Phantom, unless you're like, I don't want to pull any male character. That's your choice, but Phantom is really good if you want to have fun, like if you want a easier life future down the road. And then we're going to get a limited banner as Chapter 7 releases, hopefully on the 1st anniversary, right? So it's going to be W, Weedy, and Elysium. Now, W and Weedy, W, super nice waifu, Weedy, super strong, Elysium, super strong as well. So you definitely want to pull that banner as well. And it's a limited banner. Everyone wants to pull the limited banner. So now you can save more Orundum for the future instead of pulling this. And then maybe down the line, you still get both of them off banner. So there's really no rush to pull this banner, even if you really want them. I mean, if you want them. If you really, really want them, you're like, Tsukinogi is my waifu, I love her so much, I must pull her. That's your choice, right? But a bit of a spoiler from now on. Full spoiler, alright? The thing about the survival thing is that we, in the future, are going to get this guard called Surtur, which completely ignores this entire skill. She will just stand on the field undead for 8 straight seconds and dealing tons of damage. So you do not need to buff her. The rest of the operators just needs to buy her time. They can die, you just redeploy them. Currently in CN chapter 8, how I did it was every single other operator is there to buy Surtur time to redeploy. As long as I can deploy Surtur, I win. That's currently the feature of Arknights. And so Tsukinogi, Asbestos, not needed. Now, I want to talk about the CC problem. CC, as we know, has been changed, like the schedule has been changed a little bit. Originally in CN, we had Chapter 7, then CC Season 1. And you remember how I talked about Weedy and Elysium being really OP? Now, Elysium is somewhat like Bagpipe. He generates a lot of DP, but not only that, he can deal AoE slow on enemies. And that will come in really handy in actually the next two CCs. So CC Season 1 and CC Season 2. Elysium are going to be like a must-have pretty much. Instead, we don't get Elysium. What is that going to change? You guys might think, oh yeah, just because we can't copy homework from the CN players, what is that going to hurt us? We're just going to clear risk 18 and we'll be just fine. Which are true. CC risk 18 is easy. But they reduced our possibility to even attempt risk 27. Sure, I'm not the biggest brain player. Maybe there's like some huge brain players out there that can easily or like somehow overcome the loss of not having Elysium. And maybe they can use Suzuran or even Rosa to aid them. But for me, who's experienced the CC Season 1 in CN, for me, my whole strategy was based around having Elysium and Myrtle on my team at the same time. And to be honest, sure, I love some new strategies. But you know what I don't want is we get at least we get Suzuran and Rosa extras, but we don't get Elysium and Weedy and W. It's not how it should work. If they want us to come up with new strategies, they can give us more operators instead of removing some operators and then giving us some random operators that should be coming down the line, right? It would have been really nice if they delayed the CC and then let us have more operators so we have more choices than the CN players, and maybe we can even do like risk 28 instead of only 27. That would make me feel really awesome. But now we don't get Elysium, we don't get Weedy, we get, technically speaking, less choices, to be honest, because Weedy is very powerful very powerful just in general, and she's especially does really well in this CC. Elysium is pretty much a must because of the some of the tags that are going to appear in this CC. And just in general, like, I wanted to have more options, but we're given less options because of a lot of reasons. We'll see how you will understand if you see the CC, but there are some really annoying tags in this CC. And without Elysium, it's going to be a really rough time. I really hope they didn't do this just so that they can put Chapter 7 in Anniversary, so we have a limited banner in Anniversary. I know what they're thinking. I understand. I get it. I just don't like how it's turning out. But on the good side, us EN players gets to try out new strategies, so I guess that's fine. Sorry I went on a bit of a rant, but that's really how I've been feeling this whole time, knowing that CC will be coming early. I've wanted to make videos about it, but I didn't want to just give a rant video and bring in like a lot of negativity, especially how Genshin launched. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, in like apparently according to some statistics, EN Arknights lost 50% of its revenue from September to October. So compared to September, October has 50% less revenue in EN, in Arknight, because Genshin Impact launched. And to be honest, I still love Arknights more. Not saying Genshin is a bad game. I still play Genshin. But for me, I love Arknights more. And I didn't want to bring in the more negativity to bring the game down even further. So that's why I haven't really made the video. But I guess this is just how it's going to be, and we'll have to deal with it. Good luck with all of your CCs. I will definitely be streaming CC myself as well. So I'll see you guys in the next video, where maybe I'll upload a CC strategy or some sort of video to help you guys push through risk 18 or something easier. We'll see how that goes. I'll see you guys in the next video.